In this video, I will show you how I made this album using 6x6 pattern paper. This is a great way to use up the pattern paper pads that you've been hoarding, just like me. They're beginner friendly and super easy to make. Hi, this is Anna of Crafty Anna Studio. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I post card making and paper crafting tutorials. Before I get into the tutorial, I will give you a brief look at the Paper Rose Studios Afternoon in the Park collection. This is the 6x6 paper pad and you get 18 sheets of double-sided pattern paper. First up is the cut apart page. Then you have the repeating pattern of ivy leaves, pattern of beautiful pink roses, a plaid pattern in coordinating colors, another cut apart sheet of mini tags, and old-fashioned typewriter keys. At the back of each paper, a repeating pattern of florals, light green gingham, a tone-on-tone pink pattern, tone-on-tone lavender pattern, blue polka dots, and last but not least, a peachy grid design. Then there is one more set of 6 to make a total of 18 sheets. I'll also be using the Afternoon in the Park tags and tickets embossed die cuts to embellish the album. There are 4 sheets and the design have been pre-cut and held together with tabs, which you can easily remove with your fingers. They have embossed shine that really elevates any project. There are so many beautiful designs from tags to tickets and also bold sentiments. I just love how beautifully they coordinate with the paper. I will also do a quick flip through of the album. You can see the front cover is decorated with the die cuts from the Afternoon in the Park collection. This album contains lots of ephemera, so it can hold a lot. Opening to the first page, there is a double pocket at the back of the front cover, which I filled with tags and ephemera. The first page has a vellum pocket. I placed a tag and a little ephemera piece and decorated it with a die cut and a tab. Turning to the next page, there is another vertical pocket at the back of the first page and a horizontal pocket on the second page with a journaling card. This and other large tags that you will see in the album are all from the 12x12 pattern paper in the same collection. The next page, another vertical pocket with a journaling card. I also placed vellum on top of the paper to mute the design as I found it a little too busy. Then here on the third page, we have another pocket. This can be for smaller pieces. At the back of that, I added another vellum pocket to add more of the smaller die cuts or tags. And at the back of the front cover, another vertical pocket with a journaling card. I also decorated the pages with embossed die cuts. I also added vellum to the front cover to mute the design of the pattern paper so that the die cuts stand out more. For this album, I used a total of 7 sheets of double-sided pattern paper. 2 of those sheets are for the pockets, so only 5 sheets is used for the album itself. I also added vellum sheets, but that is really not necessary for this project. To start, I have here 2 sheets of vellum cut to 5.5 by 6. I used an 8.5 sheet of vellum cut at 5.5 on the 11-inch side. Then I cut it at 6. I will use the offcuts for the vellum pockets in this album. These are the 5 sheets I will be using. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will place the pattern paper that I will use for the front cover on my scoreboard and score at 1/2 inch. Then I will fold it inwards along the scored line. Next, I will take the second sheet, place it down on my scoreboard, and score it at 4 inches. I will glue the pages as I score the sheets so you can see how it is assembled. I fold it on the 4-inch score mark towards the back of the plaid pattern. Then, using a circle punch, I'll cut out a notch for the vertical pocket. Then I will glue it onto the first sheet just like this. I'll be using liquid glue as I need a little of the wiggle room to make sure each page is aligned. I will also use the scoreboard edges to keep everything squared and even. Then I will add liquid glue to the top and the bottom of the pocket to glue it closed. And this is page 1 attached to the front cover. For page 2, I score at half an inch only. Now this is where I made a mistake, but I'm keeping it in the video. I'm supposed to fold it in, but instead I folded it to the back. I glued it down, but then I will remove it and fold it in the correct way, which is like that. I will add liquid glue. Then I will glue it down to the edge. Making sure everything is aligned. I will cover this up later as I add the pockets to the album. For page 3, I will score at half an inch and at 4 inches. Then I will turn the page 90 degrees to the left and score at 3 inches up to the 4-inch scored line. Then I will fold it on the 4-inch and half-inch scored lines. Next, I will cut a triangular notch along the 3-inch scored line. I will start by cutting it at a slight angle on one side of the scored line and another angle on the other side of the scored line. I will then add glue to the half-inch tab and glue it down to the edge. Checking first if I'm gluing it to the right side. Then making sure everything is even and aligned. Next, I will add glue at the top and at the bottom to close up the 2 pockets. You can, of course, make this a regular vertical pocket, but I wanted to show you another option. Now for the back cover. This pattern will be the inner back cover, and I'll score it at half an inch. I'll fold it in and glue it down. While I'm doing this, I wanted to take a moment to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have a tutorial coming up where I take ordinary brown paper bags and turn it into a beautiful journal. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Of course, I'll be doing card making videos too, and I have one coming up that you wouldn't want to miss. Now, back to the album. Now that the basic album is done, I'm going to add vellum to the front and back cover before adding the spine cover. This is entirely optional, but I am showing you the process in case you want to do the same to your album. I just think this is a great way to mute a busy design and make the album look more premium at the same time. As mentioned earlier, I used one sheet of 8.5 by 11 thick vellum paper and cut it to 5.5 by 6. The offcuts of that vellum sheet will be used for the pockets in the album. I'm attaching it with glue added to the edges of the spine so that the glue will be covered by the spine cover. For the spine cover, on another 6 by 6 sheet of pattern paper, I cut a strip measuring 2 3/8 by 6 inches. Then on the 2 3/8 inch side, I score at 1 inch, then turn to the other side and score again at 1 inch. I fold along the scored lines. And this is the cover of the spine. I will then add liquid glue, but only on the 1-inch area, not in the area of the spine. Then I will place it against the edge of the spine and press it down. Then add glue to the 1-inch area. Remember, do not glue the spine area to the cover because gluing it down inhibits the pages from opening up. Now it's time to add the pockets. I used up 2 additional 6x6 sheets for the spine cover and pockets. For the back of the front cover, I will add 2 vertical pockets. Of course, you can decorate any of these pages any way you want. I am just showing you some options. For the notched pocket, I cut a piece measuring 2.5 by 6. I will take a circle punch and punch out a notch in the middle. This pocket is quite shallow, so the notch is really more for decorative purposes. Then I will add thin beads of glue to 3 sides and adhere to the edge of the inside back cover. Next, I will cut a strip of paper from another 6x6 sheet measuring 1.5 by 6. I'll add glue to all 3 sides and adhere it on top of the other pocket. Next, I'm going to add vellum to these pages just to make the pattern less busy. I'll add glue to one side and attach it to the inner part right next to the fold line. Then I'll do the same to the other side. Now to create the vellum pockets. Remember the offcuts I set aside earlier? I take one of them and I will trim 1 inch off the 4.5-inch side. Then I'll bring it to my scoreboard, and on the 4.5-inch side, I will score at 1/4 inch. Then turn to the other side and score again at 1/4 inch. I will turn to the 2.5-inch side and then score at 1/4 inch. Then I'll fold in all the scored lines. Next, I will miter the corners to turn them into a pocket. I will fold in all the scored lines. Then I will add glue to the back. Then I will attach it to the album. But first, I will cut a notch. I will attach it to the bottom of the first page. Press it down firmly and make sure it's all aligned on all sides. I will take the other piece of the off-cut vellum and add it to this page. First, I'm going to fold it in half, just like this. Then cut a notch on one side. Then add a thin bead of glue on either side to close up the pocket. Next, I will add glue to the back and attach it to the page. For the rest of the pockets in the album, I cut 3 pieces of 1.5 by 6-inch strips of pattern paper. You can, of course, use scraps for this if you happen to have. I will add 2 of the strips to create vertical pockets, and one will be used for a horizontal pocket. But first, I'll have to hide this mistake of mine with a strip of paper. If you're interested in the Afternoon in the Park collection, I have it linked in the video description below. Paper Rose Studio is based in Adelaide, Australia, but they do ship to the US and other parts of the world. If you're based in the US, scrapbook.com also carry Paper Rose Studio products, and that is linked below too. Here I'm attaching the horizontal pocket on the third page of the album. And that pretty much finishes off the basic album. Now let's go and take a quick flip through. If you're interested in checking out the Afternoon in the Park collection from Paper Rose, I have it linked in the video description below. Paper Rose Studio is based in Adelaide, Australia, but they do ship to the US and other parts of the world. If you are based in the US, scrapbook.com also carries Paper Rose Studio products, and that is also linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye.